Hello, everybody, and welcome to the third Doggy podcast from Dog Friendly.
The Doggy Podcast with Steve and James.
Today, we've got a fantastic subject to discuss because on Friday, the 21st of June, it is Bring Your Dog to Work Day. And James and I have been sort of chatting about this because James and I were involved with the launch of a course that the National Pet College run called Dogs in the Workplace. And at the time, we did some research, and I don't know if you remember, James, but I think we found quite a lot of information out about how beneficial it is to have dogs in the workplace.
The feedback was that it creates a completely different atmosphere. People are more relaxed, and the stresses of leaving the dog behind in the morning, that all goes away. So, yeah, huge amount of positive benefit that we've heard about.
I've checked my notes, and in fact, the Kennel Club did some research a couple of years ago. And there's a number of bullet points here that I think are worth sort of just reading out. 70% of people said that dogs alleviate stress in the workplace. 67% of people say that dogs make the atmosphere more friendly. 51% of people said that the dogs improve morale and job satisfaction. 51% of people said that dogs encourage employees to take breaks from the screen. So some really, really wonderful feedback. And we're very lucky because we have with us today another of our good friends, Joe Amit from Hound, Dogs Love Hound, to talk about Bring Your Dog to Work Day. So welcome, Joe.
Welcome, Joe.
Hello, how you doing?
Good, thank you. Thank you very much for joining us. So let's get straight into it. What is Bring Your Dog to Work Day?
Bring Your Dog to Work Day is an event that we started in 2014 when myself and my business partner Mark were moving the Hound offices, and we'd always had our dogs with us, and we literally moved in and then were told that the building wasn't dog friendly, and we made an arrangement with the landlords that once a year they'd let us bring the dogs into the office. And an idea sparked for Bring Your Dog to Work Day, where we thought, let's encourage more businesses to allow dogs into the workplace, if not every day, then at least once a year. And at the same time, we could make it into an event and that would raise money for charities. And
Fantastic.
That's really how it started.
That day this year is obviously Friday, the 21st of June. So what's actually going to happen on the day?
On the day itself, it's quite fun because you don't really know what's going to be happening around the country. Some offices will send us in their press releases and tell us what they're doing. Some offices will allow their employees to come into the workplace for the day with their well-behaved dogs. We've also got a PDF of all the HR guidelines that we send them out in advance. And they might just have dogs in the office for the day and everyone just carries on with work as normal. Some other companies will get T-shirts made and do a photo shoot and do a fundraiser, either raise money for one of our charities, or they might do one of their own. We'll go and share it on Twitter and Instagram and Facebook. And just over the course of the day, the hashtag Bring Your Dog to Work Day just starts to go viral, and we just sit on our screens watching the most incredible day unfold. It's just really, really joyful.
Fantastic. Did you get much press coverage?
Over the years, the press coverage has actually been amazing. The day quite quickly became a national event in the calendar. So we actually haven't had to do that much PR anymore. We get contacted by radio stations and newspapers in the lead up to the event. In the last couple of years, we've had around 250 pieces of press coverage, interviews on BBC radio throughout the day. We've raised tens of thousands of pounds for charity. And a couple of years ago, we were on the Lorraine show. We did an outdoor Guinness Book of Record try for the most dogs that could sit in 1 minute.
Oh, that's great.
It was a lot of fun. People just really, really enjoy it.
So it sounds like people really do get behind it.
Every year we say the event is bigger than the year before, but it really does. And we raise double the funds every year, and thousands of companies and employees take part now. And the Huffington Post headline read a few years ago, Bring Your Dog to Work Day is serving us ridiculous levels of joy. And that really is what it's about.
That's great.
Joe, on the sort of charities you've mentioned, are there specific ones that you would quote that people particularly want to donate to as part of this campaign and everything you do?
We have 3 charities that we support on Bring Your Dog to Work Day, and they're on the Bring Your Dog to Work Day website, and anyone can donate to them directly. We also encourage anyone who wants to take part, they could donate to their own animal welfare charity. As long as they use the hashtag Bring Your Dog to Work Day, we will share that event or donation. It's really a day to have fun, but also to dig a little deep and donate to the animal welfare charity of your choice. We've got 3 charities that we've always supported. They're a little bit different from each other. One is the dog charity that we've supported since the beginning of time, called All Dogs Matter. In London, they're a very small charity. They rescue and rehome around 400 dogs every year. The other charity is the Surge Sanctuary, which is actually a livestock rescue. They save and rehabilitate farm animals, and they live out their life peacefully in the sanctuary. And the third charity is Animals Asia, and they rescue bears from the bear bile farming industry in Vietnam and China. I've actually been to Vietnam to see one of the sanctuaries for a week, and it's just the most incredible place I've ever seen. And they also educate the public on not eating dog meat as well, and they're very, very active in Asia.
Yeah, sounds great. So it's your individual cause, or you've got causes that you really support. That's great.
And to find out more about those, there's details on the Bring Your Dog to Work Day website.
Yeah. Yes, the charities have all got a link on the Bring Your Dog to Work Day website.
Joe, it's really interesting over the years of Bring Your Dog to Work Day that things might have changed. I know a lot of people working at home now. So how has that affected the day, the event over the last couple of years? I have found that some people now are being sort of told more that they need to be in work a couple of days or 3 days a week. Have you noticed that happening at the moment?
It's a good question, and the Bring Your Dog to Work Day has changed a fair bit since COVID. Pre-COVID, it was absolutely viral on social media, with thousands of businesses taking part and people taking their dogs into work. And since COVID, a lot of people have been working from home, so there's less viral sharing, let's say, because people are just at their desk at home. And with more people now having to go back to work, not all businesses are dog friendly. And I know that All Dogs Matter, the charity, says that so many dogs are now the COVID dogs are now being given up for adoption or abandoned, which is pretty sad. But on a positive note, Bring Your Dog to Work Day was set up to encourage businesses to allow people to bring their dogs to work, so they didn't have to leave them at home either on their own or with expensive sitters. And so many places now are dog friendly. And we get contacted all the time by businesses saying they want to make their office dog friendly. How can we help? And we've just got like an info pack and an HR sheet that we send to people. So it's not really, it's about having fun on the day, but it was always set up to try and get businesses to let people come to work with their dogs. And we can see that is definitely now the case. There's so many offices now that just have people working with their dog under their desk.
That's a very valid point, Joe, because the research that I mentioned at the beginning about for Kennel Club did a while ago, there are a few more points that fit perfectly there. And 45% of people said that dogs make the company or organisation more attractive for job seekers who own dogs. 33% of people said that dogs improve productivity. 25% of people said that dogs make the company or organisation more attractive for job seekers without a dog, which is surprising. But I think actually what that means is there are so many dog lovers out there that can't have a dog. If they're going into work and there's a dog to entertain them as well, it just adds to the positivity of that employer. So I think the message is still the same, isn't it? Let's encourage businesses to welcome dogs.
Yes, absolutely. And I think it's now considered, isn't it, like a big perk, that people will, looking for jobs today, want, hybrid working, if they've got a dog or got a dog during COVID or before that, they want to know they can take their dog into work. And it's all positive, you know, for the dog, for the people. On a obvious note, you know, people who are scared of dogs, that is also an interesting thing, because we have seen over the years, people that are scared of dogs would either stay at home the day that all the dogs are going into the office. But some people who have been scared of dogs, obviously you're only going to bring in non-reactive dogs into the office. It's helped people get over their fear of dogs as well. Just having a quiet dog, you know, in the office.
That's wonderful. And those people that do work from home still, and those people that are working at home on Friday, because I think in this day and age, Fridays tends to be one of the work from home days if you are hybrid working. Nothing to stop people getting involved because they're still working, presumably, and sharing a photo of themselves and their dog on the website or on the social media sites.
Exactly. People working from home, they can always take a sunny break in the garden with their dog and their laptop and post a picture of them using the hashtag Bring Your Dog to Work Day. But you're right, a lot of people now do work from home and think, oh, well, I don't need to take part. But we do encourage everyone to take part anyway. Send us in your photos of your dogs. And
that's a very positive attitude, that you think the sun's going to be out on Friday. Let's hope it is. Talking before the show about sort of the rest of the world, and you mentioned interestingly that you were sort of trailblazers, because it's not only in the UK now, is that right?
That's right. A few years after we launched Bring Your Dog to Work Day, we noticed that the hashtag was going really crazy. You know, I think it was like 80,000 uses on 1 year on Twitter. And it turned out that Australia started doing it in Australia, but they're the night before. So the time we woke up in the morning, we were like, what are all these interviews with Australian accents going on the radio and clips from TV stations and everything? So yeah, Australia does it now as well. And it's usually the Friday that America has their own one in the States called Take Your Dog to Work Day. So we usually do it all on the same day. So it really helps everyone with the hashtag. Even though it's Take Your Dog to Work Day in America, some people mix up the hashtags, but it kind of benefits each of us anyway.
That's great. I did notice on our Facebook page yesterday, because we shared the news that Friday's Bring Your Dog to Work Day, that we also had someone saying they're doing it in Canada as well now. So
amazing.
You may see more and more. It's great news.
It is. Our dogs are very spoiled, but we need to also think about the other animals out there that are not so spoiled.
Of
But our
course.
dogs really are. They're very lucky.
Absolutely.
Other interesting places that people take their dogs on the Bring Your Dog to Work Day?
Over the years, we've had some really fun images where they've tagged Bring Your Dog to Work Day, and we can see what's happening. We've had the Sooty Show, one of them. 1 year, Disney even did a reel. They created an animation for it. We've had Peaky Blinders, an image sent in with him and the dog in the middle of the desert. We've had the Tower of London, Domino's Pizza, government offices. We've had fire stations take place, TV channels, Thames Valley Police. There's some great images that I'm just looking at to remind myself here. Stylist Magazine, the Royal Air Force Association.
So basically dogs getting really involved as well in the work itself.
Well, yes, we had 1 year, we had actually over the first few years, there was a private airline where they had this beautiful Labrador walking on the red carpet up into its own private jet, and they would send us in the most incredible images of the dog on a plane. Just been some really incredible places over the years.
Is there any, you know, you get a few celebrities supporting the day. Is there any that you mention that really get involved?
In the very first year when we launched Bring Your Dog to Work Day in 2014, when it was just a small event, it took off also because on Twitter, Ricky Gervais posted a very funny tweet. It's Bring Your Dog to Work Day. I'm going to go and find myself a dog or something like that. And it really picked up. And we've had a lot of celebrities over the year take part in it just for fun. There's a picture on social, Ben Fogel 1 year on a kayak in the middle of some lake as well, saying it's Bring Your Dog to Work Day. You know, it just goes on and on. It's really incredible. And the fact that the Lorraine show did it as well was really heartwarming.
So how can people get involved? What do they need to do?
It's really straightforward. Just get online, share the hashtag, tag us, and we'll repost all the best images. Donate whatever you can to the charity of your choice that is involved in animal welfare or rescue, or any of our 3 charities all need funds as well. And enjoy the day with your dog.
Joe's Dog Friendly Awards are due to launch shortly, and be inviting people to vote for places that they're allowed to take their dog to work and the experience they have with that. Is that something, you know, that you could help with?
That's a terrific idea. I think anyone listening to this, if you work in a dog-friendly office and you love your employer, why not give them a shout out on Bring Your Dog to Work Day and vote for them in the Dog Friendly Awards?
That would be brilliant. You know, any encouragement is great, Joe.
No worries.
Joe, that's been really interesting, and what an achievement that you and Mark and Hound have managed to do something so good for dog owners. The strapline for Dog Friendly is improving the lives of dogs and their owners, and I think, goodness me, you guys have done that as well. So thank you. Just as a reminder for everybody, the website, if you want to go and have a look at Bring Your Dog to Work Day, is www.bringyourdogtoworkday.co.uk. And if you share any pictures on any social media platform, remember to use the hashtag Bring Your Dog to Work Day. Joe, it's been a pleasure to have you on the Doggy Podcast. Thank you for sparing the time, because I know you're busy with everything coming up to Friday. So thank you.
Thank you so much, Joe.
Guys, thank you.
The Doggy Podcast with Steve and James.